This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're looking at for the Thursday games. But of course, let's do a recap. Yesterday, for those not paying attention at home, we crushed it again. Let's go through the everything that will hit. So the Y3 strategy, there was a play yesterday that hit. The Y3 strategy has not lost since we brought it in at the beginning of this month. So beginning of June, I dropped a video explaining this strategy. As of yesterday, it is 14-0 now. Has not lost once. And if you want more information on the Y3 strategy, it's very simple. Just go to the free Discord you should already be in and go to the free Discord channel that simply says MLB Y3 strategy. It's got all the details in there. It's got the video to watch as well. Has not lost a single time. But of course, every time I say that on camera, on the show, I always feel like I'm jinxing it. But hey, it is what it is. So that hit the play of the day of the show yesterday, which was Jakob over 4.5 Ks. That hit for us. And so 2-0 there. And then the spread predictor, which I've been trying to scream from the rooftops, has been printing money since the late April when we first brought it in. It went 7-3 yesterday for another great profitable day. So back-to-back days of massive profit from the spread predictor. Back-to-back days the Y3 hit, and back-to-back days the play of the day from the show hit. Do you understand what you're missing out on by simply standing on the sidelines? I keep using different metaphors and different kind of things to kind of, I don't know, explain to you, but you simply not doing what everybody else is doing is not working out for you. If you want to have the success that you see people in the Discord having, you have to do exactly what they're doing. I think I read a metaphor for something yesterday, and I think I'm going to use it going forward, that you can't swim unless you get into the pool. If you're simply standing on the outside of the pool, like, oh, I wish I could swim like everybody else. These are great swimmers out here. You got to get in the gosh dang pool. Stop standing on the sidelines. What we've built for you works. What we're teaching you works. What you're doing is not working, which is why probably watching these shows and trying to find some help in the first place. Well, great news. You found the best place to go to. Now do the bare minimum. Get into the free Discord. Download the free version of the app. Create a free account. Subscribe to the free YouTube channel. If you can't do those things, stop betting. It's not for you. Betting is not for everybody, and that's okay. If you want to have success, the same level of success you see the premium members in Discord that are dropping winning screenshots every single day having, it's not rocket science. You just got to do what they are doing. Now, that's over with. If you need help, it's very simple. You just ask. If you never ask, we never know you need help. So instead of you giving up on yourself, I would start by asking for help first. There's a lot of things out there that you probably aren't aware of that could help you become a better. So just ask questions, get answers, and get better. Also, PlayerProps.ai/giveaway. There's still time left to enter the $5,000 cash and prizes giveaway. If you're someone on this planet who likes to have more money at the end of the day than what they started with, on top of doing everything else we tell you, it's probably in your best interest to sign up for a free giveaway that costs you 0 cents to enter. 0 cents. $5,000 cash and prizes giveaway. All the full details are on that page like I just mentioned. PlayerProps.ai/giveaway. We're still a little bit out from announcing the winners, so you still have some time to enter the free $5,000 cash and prizes giveaway. Nobody else does what I do. Nobody else does these kind of giveaways. Nobody does these kind of videos. Nobody does what PlayerProps.ai is doing. Just lock in. Do the bare minimum. Let's see what we got going for today here. Thursday, June 26th, and a additional reminder for you guys that there will be no long-form shows like this next week. I will be up in Ohio volunteering my time as a counselor for a camp up there, and there's not really like laptop availability, and I'll be busy the entire time all week, so not next week. what are we going to do here? If you've seen at least one of these shows in the last couple months, you already know what we're going to do here, but I'm going to quiz you. Before I move these filters, do you remember what you should be changing on the filters when you're using the app on your own? In particular, this weekend and also next week when we're not doing shows. Again, this is 3. Difference? I always start with 17. So what I do here is I have a good handful of pictures with those. So now we're going to go through the handful of pictures that meet those filters, and we're going to figure out which ones are trifectas. All right, first up we got Shane. It's got a line of 3.5, so his projection needs to be 4.5 or higher. It is 5.25. Sportsbook's favorite, so on paper, this is a trifecta. I'll explain later on why we're probably not going to be doing that, because there's a ban list. Jansen Junk, what a name. His line is 3.5. Projection has to be 4.5. It's 5.0. I'm not sure if it's minus 110 both sides or minus 120 on the under, so we'll check that in a second. Actually, we can just check that right now. Yeah, minus 120, just like I thought. I called it. When you look at this tool and you learn enough what to look for, you're going to start finding things like those trifectas there. Okay, so Jansen Junk, not a true trifecta because the under is slightly favored. Christopher Sanchez, 4.5. Line has to be, or projection has to be 5.5 or higher. It is 5.95. Sanchez is a trifecta. Shota, 4.5 line. Projections 5.5, but sportsbooks are favoring the under because the over is plus 130. Not a trifecta. Andre Palante, 3.5, 4.2. Not enough. Michael Lorenzen, 3.5, 4.15. Not enough. And then we have 2 unders, it looks like. Hancock, 4.5. The line needs, or the projection has to be 3.5 or lower. It is. This is a trifecta. Clayton Kershaw, 4.5. Projection has to be 3.5 or lower. It is. This is a trifecta. So now, let's do a quick recap. Shane, yes. Sanchez, yes. That's 2. So there's 2 overs and 2 under trifectas. So we have 4 technically. Hold on, I'm looking at something here. 22, 22, 50, 50. I can actually change this to 22 now. So the lowest trifecta is a 22 difference. And it only cleans it up a little bit. There's still Jansen, who's not a trifecta, and Shota, who's not a trifecta on here. But anyway. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up the Discord that you should already be in because it's free. It helps you out. And there's a million sports betting bots and tools that I've created in there to help you do the math without doing any math. You just type in things and it'll tell you exactly what things are, what things you should do. A lot of helpful stuff in the Discord. But anyway. Anywho, where's the ban list at? There it is in Discord. So there's a rule in Discord that we have says we do not, this is in the ban list, go over strikeout props versus Kansas City. Shane versus Kansas City, it's an over strikeout prop. So we're going to X that in the butt. Kansas City, 29th least strikeouts. Reminder, there's only 30 teams. There's only one team in the entire MLB that strikes out less than the Kansas City Royals, and then they're also 26th in the last 3. Additionally, he plays for Tampa Bay, and if you've heard a lot of my stuff this season, this MLB season, I'm not a fan of Tampa Bay pitchers too much because the manager's an idiot, and he keeps the crappy pitchers in too long, and he takes the good pitchers out too early. But regardless, we have a rule for a reason. Pass on Shane. Jansen, he's not a trifecta. It's minus 120 on the under, but also San Francisco's been the 22nd least strikeouts. Or they're 8th least, I guess you can say. 22nd most out of 30 teams. But he is not a trifecta, but I'm going to keep him in the back pocket for now. Sanchez is. So let's look at Sanchez versus Houston. Houston, for the course of the season, not striking out too much. They're 23rd most strikeouts out of 30 teams. But recently, 14th right there in the middle, which means they're trending higher. If you look at Sanchez, if you look at his last 20 games dating back to September 9th last year, which, for those not paying attention, is actually my birthday. One, two, three, four, five, 6 out of 20 times he's not hit this line. And only 2 out of 20 lines he's not gotten 4. So if his line's at 4.5, 4 would be hooking, which means he's right under where he needs to be to hit. So he's averaging 4 or more for majority of the last 20 starts he's had, except for a fluke St. Louis 3 and a New York Mets 2. But he only pitched 2 innings there anyway. He pitched 6.1, so there's not really an excuse there. If you look at this, against San Francisco at the beginning of the season, he got 12 Ks. 12 Ks in 7 innings. That means he does have strikeout stuff. And over here, 3 starts ago, he got 9. So he has the capability of creeping up there. The thing is, can he get it against Houston? So what's the first thing we like to check for after we look at the graph? We like to scroll down here, and we like to look at the strikeout percentage. These numbers versus righties and lefties, for us to go over on someone, has to be 20% or higher. His strikeout rate against righties is 25.9, lefties is 27.5. Checks that box. It's interesting to note, so I know he's not versing Toronto, but Toronto typically is not a big strikeout team. He got 4 against them in 4 starts ago, and then 2 starts ago he versed the same exact team, and he got another inning and another K. So he's able to verse the same team twice in the span of 3 starts and increase his strikeout rate, which is interesting. Even though he's not, I mean, Houston, I don't know what the last time he versed Houston was. Maybe never. Miami, 8 innings pitched, 4 Ks. The fact that he can get into the 8th inning and finish the 8th and still only have 91 pitch count, that means there was just a lot of like early swings and fast, like swinging on the first pitch kind of stuff, or flyouts and groundouts. Because getting 1 inning away from a complete game and you're only at 91 pitch count, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, like if we go all the way back to there's only 1 game in his last 20 starts where he pitched technically at least 2.1 innings or more where he did not get at least 4 Ks. So everything else is he's very, very consistent, and he has the ability to reach double digits. 9 here, 12 here. Both of those starts were this season. Don't hate that one. Let me see if there's anything I like more. Okay, so we ruled out this because of the ban list. Christopher is interesting. We don't dislike this play so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 2 unders here. Now, there's a rule we also have in the ban list. It says we never, ever, ever go under strikeout props against Colorado. They only swing when their eyes are closed. Colorado's the 2nd most strikeouts in the entire league this season, 6th most in the last 3 games. If we're going under on somebody, we don't want to see green here. So this is ruled out. I'm not touching that with the 10-foot pole. You can say, oh, Kershaw's watched up, and we went under on him in his last start. But again, there's just a ban list rule for a reason. Why risk money if it's on the ban list? We're not going to touch it. So the only other consideration that we can possibly have is Emerson Hancock. His line is 4.5, projection 3.5, exactly where it has to be to qualify for a trifecta. He's versing the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota Twins, 15th. So over the course of the season, they're right literally in the middle of the 30 teams, 15th. But they're striking out a little less in their last 3. They moved down from 15 down to 20. So they're doing a little better on not striking out, which is what you look for when going under on a strikeout prop. So let's look at the last 20 here. Emerson Hancock in his last 20 starts has only eclipsed 5 or more strikeouts 5 times. That's so 15 out of 20 games has not hit that number. Last game he did, 4 innings pitched, 9 earned runs. Holy crap. He got lit up last game. But then the game before that, 7 innings, 0 earned runs. If you remember what I just taught you or reminded you, when we're going over, we like both of these to be 20. When we're going under, we like neither of these to be 20. Neither of these are 20. So that's nice there. He's not a good strikeout pitcher. So I don't dislike either of these two. But the question is, which one are we going to go with? Or are we going to go throw a third play in there to potentially give ourselves a win scenario where we profit if at least 2 of the 3 hit? Because if you are playing these exactly as designed, you're playing them as singles. You're not parlaying them like a psychopath who just likes to light their money on fire. I'm thinking... Okay, next step before we consider throwing in a third one, let's see if we can find a line better for either of those on our props comparison tool, which is, again, part of the free tools that we have on the app. It costs you 0 cents to download the free app. It costs you 0 cents to use the props comparison. What are we looking at? No. It was Emerson Hancock. So his line on 3 books is 3.5, but on some other books it's 4.5, which of course if we're going under, we want the highest line possible, so 4.5 is the best one on that. Was it Phillies, Astros? So his line's at already 5.5 on some books. Remember, we're going over on him, so we want the lowest line, so we're going to take that 4.5. So it looks like it's 4.5 is the best case scenario for both Christopher Sanchez and, what's his face? Already forgot it. Emerson Hancock. Okay. So now that we know those things, perhaps we throw in a third. So this is the MLB spread predictor. This is what's been printing money. Literally, like tens of thousands of dollars have been won this in the last 2 months just from premium members using just this tool, exactly how it's designed. And if you're not sure how it's designed or how to use it, the first thing you want to do is you want to click on how to understand it by clicking this button here. But also in the free Discord, the channel you're looking for, free channel, again, in the free Discord, is MLB Spread Rules. You want to pay attention to the cheat sheets and everything I dropped in there. It's very important. So, speaking of that channel and the rules we have, so we don't do the minus 1.5 projected sides. The next best one, you can see that on screen, right? Let me scroll down a little bit. Next best one is the New York Mets plus 1.5. But if I look at the cheat sheet, even though they aren't in theory on the ban list because they have 11-7 record since we updated the spread predictor at the end of April, they're the only team on this entire cheat sheet in this channel that's 1-4 in the last 5 games. So they're not on the ban list, but if I'm picking a third play for the show for us to go 2-3, at least 2-3 and get profit, I'm not touching the only team that's 1-4 in their last 5. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go one more down. Make sure you can still see it on screen. So you see here Toronto plus 1.5 against the Cleveland Guardians. So pull up the cheat sheet, not on screen because you have to go to the channel to view it. Which, again, if I just put everything on screen, the lazy people out there will just be satisfied and not do the bare minimum, which is why I reference things in the free Discord and not pull them up on screen, because you're going to have to get into the free Discord. But Toronto plus 1.5 is one of the heaviest hitting projected spread sides of this entire cheat sheet. Out of 22 games since we dropped this new player spread predictor, it's gone 17-5. That's a 77% win ratio. And over the last 5 games, it's 3-2. So it's got a winning. So it's definitely got a winning record over the last 22. But even the last 5 games that this side's been projected with this tool, it's still got a winning record. So I think that's what we're going to do, ladies and gents. We're going to go with the Sanchez over. We're going to go with Hancock under. And then we're going to go with Toronto plus 1.5. Mix all that in, you got yourself a nice winning day. We're going to go 3 massive consecutive profitable days in a row. So that's all she wrote, ladies and gents. Again, tomorrow's going to be our last show for a week because, again, next week we're not going to be available to do these things. But it's once you watch one, you've watched all of them because you're like, tomorrow we're going to do a show, but on Saturday you're like, oh man, I wish that Travis did a show on YouTube. No, you just do what I did on the last show. So if on Saturday when you pull up my app that I built for you to win more money and lose less often, then you just do exactly what I did on the show with whatever the app is telling you that day, and you come to the same kind of, not same results as the same exact plays, but you come to the same plays that I would have wound up on anyway if I did do a show. Use the app. Stop being lazy. Stop relying on everyone else. Use the app as designed, exactly how I've taught you, and you will print money like everyone else in Discord is printing money. And if you're like, how do I know everybody else in Discord is printing money? Well, if you follow step 1, which is stop being lazy, you would have already entered the free to join Discord, and one of the free channels in the Discord is all the winning screenshots channels. You can literally see $200,000 of winning screenshots by just looking. $0 it costs you to get in the Discord, and if you're not there, I don't want to hear your lame excuse of I don't have a Discord account. That is very lame. It is a free to create account, and it's a free to join Discord. Stop being lazy. Do the bare minimum. Not just for yourself, for you and your family. I'm sure your significant other, if you have one, is not really too fond of you losing more money than you win. So how about you make both of you happy and do the bare minimum and hashtag apply yourself. Good luck, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.